In this video, we'll talk about using Meta Quest 3 and Apple Vision Pro for work and productivity purposes. Hi, I'm Yuka, and on this channel, we're exploring all things tech and creativity. First up, let's go over how the display sharing app works natively. On the Quest 3, you need to download the Meta Quest remote desktop software on your Mac or Windows to connect to your Quest. You can use Meta Horizon Workrooms or Remote Desktop. Horizon Workrooms is more for conferencing and using with other people in a VR setting, whereas Remote Desktop is for single user and can be used with pass-through. With Apple Vision Pro, you can simply glance at your MacBook or connect from the control center of Vision Pro. You don't need to install any software on either side, so it's super seamless. There is no dedicated app on Vision Pro that you use to set it up, but a window pops up when you connect with your Mac. Obviously, one of the cons is that it works great on Macs, but it doesn't work on other PCs. On Quest 3, you can have up to 3 virtual monitors and does not dim the existing monitors, but the pass-through is not good enough for you to properly use the IRL monitors to see things. Apple Vision Pro currently only supports 1 monitor, although there are rumors that multiple monitors are coming in the future update. When you connect your Mac to Vision Pro, the IRL monitors turns off. It does support 4K resolution if your Mac is on Apple Silicon and 3K if it's on Intel chips. There are third-party apps that are on either platforms that allow you to do a little bit more than what is available from Meta and Apple. For Quest 3, one of the most popular apps is an app called Immersed. You can use up to 3 screens with a free version and up to 5 with a paid subscription. I know there are a lot of people who like Immersed, but I am honestly not a huge fan because it requires you to download a separate app for your computer, and I have to give a bunch of security access to it. For Apple Vision Pro, there are some apps that are starting to come out as developers realize the need for this. However, I think that this will be supported in the future, so I'm not too worried about this at the moment. Connecting to a keyboard is pretty easy on both platforms. On Quest 3, when you are in pass-through mode, the keyboard can be connected and you can see the physical keyboard. The camera feed has some warping when things are too close or is on the edge of the field of view. You can also use Bluetooth to connect your Meta Quest 3 to your keyboards. It works the same way as you would connect with a smartphone or a tablet. On Vision Pro, you can also easily connect a keyboard with Bluetooth, but when you are using Apple's Magic Keyboards, there is a special added feature where the suggestion for whatever you're typing shows up floating on the keyboard. Let's talk about multitasking next. By multitasking, I mean running different apps simultaneously. There aren't much productivity-related apps on Quest 3, and a lot of them are designed to run in the VR mode, so I don't think people have the need to run multiple apps. You can use the browser and files at the same time, but it's not really a use case that I would find to be that useful or interesting. Even though the current Vision Pro software only allows you to use 1 monitor screen for the Mac, there are millions of iPad apps that you can run and use at the same time. If you want to see your Slack or Discord, Notion, browsers, messages, that can all be done by running the apps directly on Vision Pro alongside with your Mac. Accessibility is something that I truly care about because it's just very important. On Quest 3, there are some features, but extremely limited, so it may be difficult to use if you need certain accessibility features. Vision Pro has the most robust accessibility features on any headset and is familiar to use if you have been using them on Macs or iPhones. There are settings that allow you to control with only your eyes or only your voice and is inclusive to people with varying types and degrees of ability. Quest 3 excels in the social aspect since that has been the core to the platform from the get-go. It makes sense because Meta is fundamentally a social media company. If I were to categorize how you can use a headset into 3 categories, it would be solo mode, where you are the single player, multiplayer mode, where you are in the same room, IRL, and seeing the same digital things through your headset with other people who are wearing the headset. Online mode is when you are not in the same room but are connected online and can communicate or interact within the digital VR space. In this sense, Quest 3 does multiplayer mode well, and it was one of the biggest features that they showed off at launch. Vision Pro does solo mode and online mode well, which makes more sense because it's not as likely for people to have a $3,500 headset as a $500 one in the same room. This could change as Apple introduces more affordable headsets in the future and the Vision product line becomes more robust. Vision Pro is excellent in the productivity aspect because there are so many apps you can already use, given that a lot of the iPad apps have been available on the App Store from day one. Although Vision Pro is a lot heavier because they use much more heavier materials like glass and aluminum, whereas Quest 3 uses mostly plastic, I am able to work in Vision Pro for longer because the graphics on Vision Pro is so good. And if we are talking about people like me who work for themselves, which device I choose is mostly up to my personal preference. But if we are talking about devices to use in a corporate setting, device management is also a huge factor. Vision Pro is also going to be included in Apple device management, which is what your company's IT team uses to manage devices provided by the company. I thought that was going to be Apple's biggest strength, but I found out that Meta also has a Meta Quest for Business program where businesses can keep track of Quest devices used for work. Although I think it's safe to say that Apple device management is much more widely used already. I see Vision Pro as very much like a spatial Mac/iPad, and this is incredibly powerful because the Mac and iPad is an established, stable platform that I use every single day for work. It might seem expensive, but my MacBook Pro was also $4,000, and it makes sense if it is what you need for your work to be efficient. Quest 3 is definitely usable for work, and I know a lot of people who already use it for work, but the pure UX and quality of Vision Pro is unmatched. Even though the Vision Pro price point is a big concern for a lot of consumers, it could be justified if you're using it for work and not just consuming content. The downside is you'll be stuck in the Apple ecosystem. So let me know what you think about this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
I'm having the time of my life. Everything is going alright. Ooh, I just made them look twice. This is how it feels when you living that good life. I'm just living that good life. I'm just living that